Good evening, Dr. Mendelssohn and classmates. The topic that I choose today to talk about in my presentation is the use of personality assessment in employment decisions. So, personality assessments are used in employment decisions to evaluate candidates' behavioral traits, communication styles, and cultural fit for a job, helping to improve the selection process and employment retention, while they can provide valuable data to support hiring and reduce bias. Their use also raises ethical and legal concerns, and results should be combined with other methods like interviews for a more complete picture. So, one of the benefits of using personality assessment will be improved job fit. Assessments help identify candidates whose personality, work style, and motivations align with the specific job requirements, team dynamics, and company culture. Also, NA's hiring decision helps to provide objective data driven insights to supplement traditional methods like resumes and interviews, potentially leading to better hiring decisions and reduce turnover. So we can talk about brief overview and importance of the employment of the personality assessment in employment decisions or hiring decisions. And we can say the personality assessment is a systematic measurement of stable traits used to predict workplace behavior. The importance will be the age selection, placement, development, and retention decisions. Historical one is one historical note could be that from early trade taxonomies to modern five-factor model and commercial inventories. So I want to just briefly explain the historical background. I divided in three stages. One is the early 20s, where the trade approaches and vocational guidance, like for example, the Woodworth or in early occupational inventories. The late 20s, the mid late 20s is the rise of standardized inventories like the 16PF or the MMPI in occupational use. The late 20s or to 21st century could be the big five adoption and the commercial instruments like the Hogan one and concerns about fairness and law. Um, well, to explain the increased fairness, when it's used as a standardized tool, personality assessment can help to mitigate unconscious bias in the hiring process by evaluating candidates on a consistent merit-based framework. Also, this kind of assessment support is a support for employee development because they can also be used after hiring to identify areas where an employee may need additional training or support to improve in performance. So, we have the common instruments used in employment, which I divide in four stages. The first one, four parts, I may say. The first one will be the big five, or the new PIR or the BFI, which has an academic and applied use. And the second one is the Hagan Personality Inventory, HPI, widely used in selection and development, like the Hagan Research, for example, as well. And the fourth one will be Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, MBTI. This is a popular in organizational development one, but psychometrically contest. And the last one is the 16PF CPI and situational judgment integrity tests also are used. So personality traits alone do not always predict job performance, and results should be used in conjunction with other evaluation methods. As well, it is crucial for employers to understand what the assessment results mean and how to apply them appropriately in a hiring process. There is also a risk of bias, despite their potential to reduce bias. Personality tests can also introduce bias if not designed or implemented carefully. So keep going with the presentation. We are going to talk about the psychometric properties like reliability, which has three characteristic. The first one, it will be the internal consistency and retest reliability are required for selection tests. We have the NEO or Big Five inventories should show high internal consistency and acceptable retest reliabilities. And the third one will be the commercial tools that report reliability evidence in technical manuals, like the MBTI shows, like for example, lower test and retest stability for the dichotomous types. Um, the next one will be the validity, and where it's also a psychometric property. And we can explain about to construct validity. How can we construct validity in a test? For example, the Big Five demonstrates links to job performance phases, and also the criterion related validity, the conscientiousness reliability predicts performance across many roles. And finally, the incremental validity where personality adds predictive power beyond cognitive ability for some outcomes. Uh, the next one will be the settings and purposes. So hiring or selection could be for screening and shortlisting. The second one will be the leadership identification development and team composition. The third one will be career counseling and person job fit analysis. And the last one will be high stakes uses require formal validation studies and local norms. So I want to keep going with the legal and ethical concerns. Because it's very important to talk about this. So the legal and ethical concerns, there are considerations regarding the use of these tests, including ensuring they are job related and do not lead to discrimination, right? So it's very important to inform. It's very important to have an informed consent with the employee, privacy and appropriate feedback. The use of tests beyond their validated purpose risk unfairness and legal exposure. And the third one that I choose will be transparency versus gameability. So applicants can fake responses and vendors provide validity as chaos, right? So The next one will be cultural and social concerns. So, cultural bias and measurement environments are the tests were developed in one population which cannot be generalized. So, the more narrow will be in our research, the better results we get. And we can also explain an adverse impact concerns. Even non-cognitive tests can produce group difference, like and which means a legal risk on it. And the third one and the last one will be the algorithm bias in automated scoring artificial intelligent driven assessment. Um, so we can just try to finishing up this topic, and we can explain briefly like practical problems, not to forgetting about the benefits of personality tests, and try to mention that they help to better placement for the employees, and it helps for the interview as well. So better placement could be that they can help identify individuals who may excel at certain jobs. For example, those who score high in empathy may do well at jobs in customer service. And also the interview is very important. When coupled with a good interview or personality test, can help you gain more insight into candidates' abilities. Right? So we have popularity versus evidence. The MBTI is widely used for team building, for example, this 5-week predictive validity and dichotomous scoring. And one of the risks will be the misuse in selection, which can lead to poor decisions and legal or ethical complaints, right? And so we have the best practice and recommendations that use validated job relevant tools and conduct local validation. And for example, the content or job analysis. Second, combine multiple predictors, which are the abilities plus personality for better prediction. And to ensure qualified practitioner administer and interpret tests, provide reasonable accommodations. And finally, to monitor adverse impact and reevaluate instruments regularly. So, mm, so personality tests are questionnaires designed to reveal aspects of an individual character. Um, Also, there are thousands of tests available, but the quality of the test varies along with the potential legal risks associated with them. So that will be it for this topic. These are the references that I use for it. And thank you so much. Have a great day.